Hi there, Steve Perkins here for the Muscle Kitchen. This is another video in the series called Eat Like You Mean It. And usually I'm in my kitchen cooking stuff and showing a recipe, but this is different. This is a different segment. So I'm in my living room. And it's about the elephant in the room. As a nutritionist, I'm always running into this problem with clients who have problems with their diets and their understanding of food and what's good for them, what works for them on a daily basis, how to shop, and where to shop, and what not to buy, why that is, and all of that. But it's just amazing. People don't really want to make a change. We're spoiled in this country thinking that you can just take a pill and whatever problem you have, it'll go away. That's not the case with food. More and more our foods are not pure, they're altered, they're screwed up, they're modified and genetically engineered, and it just is depressing. Because they're very, very powerful, anyhow, I won't get going on GMOs right now because this is not the point of this particular thing we're doing here together. Today is about that elephant in the room called your emotions and your relationship with food. So most people think that they can just eat anything they want and it's really not going to matter. Whatever tastes good to them, they're going to trust their tongues, and that's just... That only works if you're a very, very refined palate. And I've kind of gotten there because of eating almost 99% organic everything for many, many years, 30, 35 years. And my palate, my tongue is incredibly sensitive, and I can taste the nuances and subtleties that nobody else seems to. So I kind of like the canary in the miner's cave when it comes to food, the food supply. But let me just say that there's some reasons why we use food as reward, and that's from our childhoods. You get it. Clean your room. I'll make you oatmeal cookies, or I'll make you chocolate chip cookies, and if you're really a good boy and don't make noise in church, we'll go to your favorite restaurant, or it goes on and on. You get straight A's, and we'll party and celebrate. Well, guess what? As adults, we kind of translate all that to celebrating is like what we almost do it all the time now. We celebrate, whether it's something good or bad or indifferent, we're always celebrating. So I got through my day at work, and it was hell, and I hate my job, but I got back, and I didn't have an accident driving home, even though I was so mad because blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to have a drink, and then I have 3 or 4 drinks, and then I'll eat whatever I want in the kitchen. Whatever is easy, I will eat. We reward ourselves with like the wrong things, the things that are just temporary, and the things that are long-haul rewards. What could those be? Well, I've proved it myself that I go there. I do some rewards. I definitely am a human being, but not very often. Even when I have that urge to go for something gorpy, sweet, or I know something I swore off pizza quite a long while ago, and I used to eat very regularly. But that's the one thing for me that I've really gotten control on. If I do have a pizza, I very often don't even eat the crust. I don't need all that wheat, and that's where the fat bugs are usually. But I'm digressing when I do that really well. So, but we also celebrate when we're depressed. We try to feel good because we're down, or we're unhappy, pissed off, and of course we celebrate when good stuff happens too. So we're always trying to celebrate and have a good time, and we give so much importance to food and drink. Yes, they're important, of course. I wouldn't be sitting here if they weren't important, but we imbue food and drink with the wrong kind of importance. I think you know what I'm getting at. As a when I was bodybuilding, when I was competing, one year I did 3 contests, so I was really into it, seriously heavy. And I thought it would fall apart because of all the dieting right before contest. No starches, no simple carbs, no salt. I had to regulate everything I ate. Everything was strictly, every meal, every snack was monitored, and right before contest it was scary because you're supposed to lose weight. You're supposed to lose weight and show the cuts. But in the process of doing that 3 times in 1 year, I learned that I was able to kind of disconnect my emotions with food. The food was fuel, strictly as fuel. Yeah, my taste buds were still active, and yes, I still enjoyed the flavors, but most of it. But when you're eating just steamed rice, steamed vegetables, and chicken breasts for every meal ad nauseum, you kind of lose. There's only so many seasonings you can put in that stuff with no salt. That I just like food is just filler, but it's the important filler, the right kind of filler that provide nutrients, of course. So I learned that I'm able to disconnect, and I think most people could do the same if they just gave themselves a chance. Fasting is another way to do this, until you learn that you hold that subject. So what's wrong with ourselves when why do we have to celebrate with food and drink? What's the deal? I just challenge you to investigate and check in on your feelings about what you do, because to feel good, why don't you do something that's good for you, rather than binge out on some key lime pie or something like this. Make some substitutions if you're feeling crappy and down low. Express your emotions in a different way. Some people paint. Some people enjoy, if you really need to get something off your chest, you can write. Some people don't type at all, so writing is cathartic for me. I write. Get out of your stuff, all this stuff is going on in your head. Your job, your pressures, your stressors, all that was, there's so much going on. It's important you try to get out of that mode somehow, and it's very cheap and very inexpensive, and almost anyone can do it almost any time of the year. It depends upon your weather situation. But I recall I was watching the news on TV one Saturday morning, and I was working on my laptop and not really watching, and yet kind of watching and kind of working at the same time, and all of a sudden the news was over, and then the Saturday morning children's TV came on, and sitting on this couch was this little girl with red yarn hair, and I think she had a clown nose, and red dots on her cheek or something, orange dots. The show was called The Big Red Couch. Actually, she was an adult actress, and the couch was way, way oversized, so that she looked diminished, thinking Lily Tomlin and her Edith Ann skits. But she had all kinds of dolls and friends, puppets, and would come up from the couch cushions, and she would interact with them and talk back and forth, and she would have these dialogues. And one of her puppet friends was in a bad way. His friends didn't want to play with him. He was sad and didn't feel like doing much. And she just you got to make a change. She said, when you start feeling stuck, you get active. You go out and you just get active. When you get stuck, you get active. So that stuck with me, and it's really smart. If you really just feel you could implode, get out the sneakers and go for a nice big walk or a jog or whatever you're capable of doing, even if it's jogging around the house or if it's a blizzard outside. Calisthenics and sit-ups and push-ups, there's a lot of indoor workout you can do to burn off some of that ick. And it works. It helps a lot. But being outside in nature is specialists. They're for a very good reason for us to recharge our batteries and our mental clarity. Just like the cobwebs just go. They don't have a chance of hanging around when you're outdoors. And what happens to us physiologically when we're stressed? Even low stress, it just messes up your digestive. Seriously, your calorie burning capacity is off, and it's just perfect foundation for weight gaining. So that's why people who stress, it's not just that we eat food, so that, but systemically things change when we're stressed out. Stress is nasty. So, and not only that, at least I'm reading here my notes, it decreases hormonal activity. Stress also influences your inflammatory and autoimmune system. So, bad news. But it doesn't have to be this way. You do have the power to make changes, and especially just going for a walk. Simple solution: just make the time to do this on a regular basis. And some people will do this early in the morning, get it done, and that's a smart thing to do. That way, you never get the ick going on. Solutions other than exercise is relaxation. If you know how to relax. Some people don't even know how to relax anymore. Well, there's the obvious things. There's meditation and prayer, and most people reach for a pill, an anti-anxiety pill or a Valium or something. I never ever go that direction because that's just adding more ick to the mix you don't need. Maybe try hypnosis. What can't hurt. I don't think it can hurt. Let's see. So, but use this when you're in this relaxation mode, whatever you're doing, and that's why people who are on a treadmill, they work out a lot of problems, because they're exercising. It's in a kind of relaxation mode, mentally, although physically you're ramping things up. But while you're in this relaxation mode, you focus on things that are good for you and intend them to work for you, if it's exercise, if it's the one thing you really need, or if it's to get a handle on your sweets and eating simple carbs late at night. No-nos, both of them, no-nos. There's Dr. Daniel Amen calls them automatic negative thoughts that we come into. And yeah, that's true. We can change them into positive. Who was it? It was Albert Einstein who once says, the mind that creates problems can't change them. Am I quoting him correctly here? You can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. I choose to add set to the word mind because it's your mindset at that moment that creates a problem. And you cannot fix it with the same mindset. Our minds are capable of changing, of evolving, and correcting issues and problems that are dysfunctional and not good for us. So, how can you improve on Einstein's theories? I don't know. I just did. I think. Okay, one more thing I want to add to this mix here. Try to simplify your life a bit. We're all going for the gold. We're trying to make $1 zillion a second, and we all want bigger house, bigger cars, bigger, faster screen, bigger TV screens and all that. I've simplified my life over the years, sometimes not by choice. I've had some health issues and some financial craziness. But as a result, I don't have as much to worry about, and that's priceless, frankly. So consider that. So you try to clean out your closet, clean out your head closet, too. I have to say those things because they're quite important, and it could be really very key if you just need someone to push you over there. Let me push you there. One other thing I mentioned, the snacking during the day, and how to manage social situations when you're expected to eat. it's a dicey subject, but I've been there many, many times. Like in the office, they have that birthday every other day, it seems like, so you have to have a piece of birthday cake. Well, add all that up, and that's like junk hanging from your butt, or from your waistline, or from your gut, turkey necks. But there's a way to manage it, and the way to manage that is to graciously accept the plate of cake, for instance, or if it's lasagna, greasy, hamburger, cheap, whatever it may be, whoever made it with love and concern and dedication and with heart, so you accept graciously and you thank them. It doesn't mean you have to eat the whole thing. It doesn't mean you have to impress them that you're hungry and want second helpings. Well, if you don't go that direction, and I've done this many times, someone I really want to make an impression on, just take a little bit off the plate, eat a nibble, trash the rest, go to the bathroom, flush it down the toilet. Toilet, oh my God. And then go back for seconds. If you want to impress your lover's mother or something, then that's the way to do it, or if your prospective mother-in-law. But just be surreptitious about it. Don't be obvious and be real sneaky, because I won't tell if you don't tell. Just give a taste. That way you can adjudicate and give feedback. Oh, well, that's a little bit on the salty side, but other than that, I really want that recipe. Work it. But that's the way I got through a lot of office parties and dinners and stuff. I kind of played the system, but I worked it my way. So I suggest you try the same thing. That way you don't have to, you'll respect yourself in the morning, and that's what this is all about. So hopefully I've touched on some good points for you, some helpful things about your relationship with food and drink, and how to manage them, and your emotions. It's a big subject. It'll never go away, so keep working on it. You'll make progress. You'll 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's the way it's always gone for me. But the overall is progress. You're gradually getting there. Wherever there is, just better, getting better. So anyhow, this is Stephen Perkins for the Muscle Kitchen again in my series called Eat Like You Mean It. And this section was about emotions and eating and your relationship with foods. If you have any questions, please let me know on Facebook, Twitter, my website. Just grab my attention if you have some. I might be able to help, but we'll see. Okay, signing off for now. Check your. Bye.